InvestorIdeas.com podcast.
Good afternoon and welcome to another InvestorIdeas.com podcast, looking at cannabis news, stocks to watch, as well as insights from thought leaders and experts. Today we're looking at announcements from the Green Organic Dutchman Holding Limited, trading on the TSX as TGOD and the OTCQX as TGOD-F, MMEN Enterprises Incorporated, trading on the CSE as MMEN, and the OTCQB as MMNFF. Canopy Growth Corporation, trading on the TSX as WEED and the New York Stock Exchange as CGC, and HIKU Brands Company Limited, trading on the CSE as HIKU. First, looking at the Green Organic Dutchman Holdings Limited, who announced that it's decided to add a 287,245 square foot purpose-built facility on its Valleyfield property, capable of producing 40,000 kilograms of premium organic cannabis. This facility will be dedicated to TGOD's beverage division and increases the company's fully funded capacity to 170,000 kilograms. With the legalization of cannabis announced on June 20th and Premier Justin Trudeau setting the legalization date at October 17th, the path is paved. The time is now to dedicate to infrastructure, services, and expertise to developing proprietary products. This is just another step for TGOD in its business plan of creating a distribution hub for large-scale beverage and edible products which can be introduced in Canada's and internationally, said Saba Rader, TGOD's president. Next, we look at MMEN Enterprises Incorporated, a leading cultivator, producer, and retailer of state-sanctioned cannabis in the U.S., who announced today that the anticipated location for a new MMEN store in Las Vegas has received land use and zoning approval by the Clark County Board of County Commissions. The store is expected to be located at 4503 Paradise Road, Las Vegas, Nevada, near major casinos such as the Hard Rock Hotel, the Thomas and Mark Center, and Las Vegas International Airport. Next, we look at Canopy Growth Corporation, who has continued its funding and announced today the issuance of another $100 million aggregate principal amounts of its 4.25% convertible senior notes due 2023, pursuant to the exercise in the full of over-allotment option granted to the initial purchases in connection with the previously announced offering of $500 million aggregate principal amount of 4.25% convertible senior notes due 2023, which closed on June 20th. The over-allotment notes have the same terms as the initial notes, including all the initial conversion rates of 20.7577 common shares per $1,000 principal amount, equivalent to an additional conversion price of $48.18 per share. And finally, we look at HIKU Brands Company Limited, who provided an update on the approach to private sector retailing of cannabis in Alberta. HIKU and their award-winning retail storefront brand Tokyo Smoke have filed applications for a series of locations in Alberta, which, if approved, will provide customers with a variety of experiences in different retail environments, including flagship stores, express stores, shopping centers, and shop-in-shop. HIKU has filed applications for more than a dozen storefronts in Calgary and are at the top of the list to be considered in each of those locations following Calgary's first-come, first-serve approach into licensing. In addition to Calgary, HIKU has also filed applications in Edmonton for its random lottery process. That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. If you would like to be a guest or a sponsor on this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment.